What if you could get paid to ask your list for advice? And what if, in doing so, you could have your customers tell you exactly what they wanted to buy from you? And what if that whole thing flew totally under the radar, not even counting as a sales pitch or anything? And what if people actually thanked you for doing it for them? Hey, if this sounds good to you, then you need to watch this case study. It's about a cool promo I created called the Survey Siphon. The last time I ran it, it brought in $113,403 in sales. And the best part was that $57,240 of that was recurring. It worked like this. First, I sent an email to my list asking for their advice on what they were interested in learning about. It was a really basic email. The subject line was literally, "Hey," and the actual email only had 5 sentences. Anyway, it sent people to a little survey page where they could answer 4 questions about what they were interested in. I also ran some ads on Facebook sending people to the same page. There's nothing fancy about it, and here's what it looked like. Anyway, after they answered the 4 questions, they saw a video that showed them early survey results and then made an offer. Then a few days later, I sent another video teaching them about some of the things they expressed interest in and explaining the final results of the survey. That video looked like this. And shortly after, I gave them a detailed case study of how the promotion worked and how much money it had made so far. The video you're about to see is that video. And just this one video resulted in an additional $31,525 added to the campaign in just a few days. Here it is. And now let me walk you through this case study. And man, the timing for this could not possibly be better. So get this, around 1 o'clock this morning, I get the message that you should be seeing now on your screen. Now, I've blocked out the guy's name because I don't have permission to use his correspondence with me, but this is just too good, right? So he says, "I copied your method exactly, sent it to a list of 1,300 subscribers, and it brought in $22,000 in sales." And what he is doing is he has copied the exact same strategy that I'm going to walk you through now. And what's interesting is he only copied a third of the way the strategy works. There's actually 3 components. I'm going to walk you through the first component today because, well, it just made this guy a lot of money. I hope it makes you a lot of money too. And it's the easiest to immediately deploy. Now, before I get started, the little email that you just saw, his results are certainly not typical. He's the only person who emailed me over the past 48 hours since I deployed this little survey and said that he made $22,000. Thousands of people have seen the survey. My likely, very accurate guess is that the overwhelming majority of them have done nothing and have made no money at all. I know you get this, but the last thing I want to do is come across as making some sort of get-rich-quick income claim or whatever. So, how does it work? Well, here's what I did, right? I started with a PPC ad. Actually, I drove traffic to this promotion in 2 different ways, right? I started with a PPC ad, and I'm going to flash the ad for you on your screen while I'm writing. So as you can see from this ad, I'm actually using a little bit of stealth selling in the ad itself, right? Because what does the ad say? Let me ask you, or may I ask you a question, or actually it says, can I ask you a question, because proper grammar is totally unnecessary in selling, right? And it says, I need your advice real quick, it only takes like 30 seconds. Now, just that by itself is massively different than every other ad that my market is seeing on Facebook. Think about it, every other ad is like basically saying, buy my stuff, I'm awesome. And this one, I'm flying in totally under the radar saying, hey, I need your advice. Now, I want to give you a little strategy. There are 2 things that can occur to make someone's desire for what you have and their trust in you escalate almost immediately. Thing number 1 is if you confide something in them. Thing number 2 is if they confide something in you. So what am I getting people to do during this process? I'm getting them to click an ad and then fill out a survey, right? When they fill out that survey, they are confiding their desires in me, right? So just that act alone psychologically increases my ability to make a sale, but that's not the only thing that drives the promotion. So here's how the promotion worked. I drove traffic from 2 places, from PPC and from my own list. So the guy that wrote me this morning, he drove it from his own list. Let's assume you don't have a list and you want to build one, right? You can start with PPC. So here's what's interesting. In the PPC, I used Facebook. I showed you the ad there just a minute ago. They clicked on the ad, they went to an opt-in page, and then they filled out the survey. So this is part of the way the promotion worked. Now here's what's interesting. Because the ad worked so well, where I just asked a question, right, instead of saying, buy my stuff, I'm awesome, I was able to get people to opt in and complete the survey. Not just opt in, but actually complete the survey for 79 cents per person. Not 79 cents a click, 79 cents per completed action. That means every new subscriber I got cost me only 79 cents. Now, why is this significant? Well, after they completed the survey, they saw an offer, right? It was an offer with some text and then a little buy button, the old video sales letter, right? Now, I'll talk to you about the mechanics of that video sales letter in a minute, but here's what's interesting. I got survey responders for 79 cents a person, right? Also opting into my list. Now, when you think about conversion numbers, yeah, people usually shoot around the 1% area. They're like, well, you know, if you get 1% conversion, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's what's interesting. First of all, we got better than 1% conversion right here, right? But let's talk about 1%. If I'm getting people to opt in and take the survey for 79 cents each, how much do I spend for 100 of them? Well, $79, right? So now let's go back to that 1% conversion. What's 1% of 100? It's 1. So if this little thing is working at 1%, meaning it's converting 1 out of 100 respondents into buyers, that's pretty good, considering that the thing sold here sold for $194, meaning for every 100 people that go through this process, my net profit is $194 minus $79 cost of acquisition is $115 net profit. So basically, through this little process, just running ads to this survey, is making me a net profit of $115 for every 100 new subscribers I get. Talk about the dream scenario, getting paid to build your list in a manner that builds goodwill. So let's talk about why it's working, right? Incidentally, the process when you send traffic from your list, you simply bypass the opt-in page, send them straight to the survey. So let's talk about what makes this effective. So I told you earlier that 2 ways to really develop influence with someone is to get them either to confide in you or you confide in them, right? So when people take the survey, they're confiding in you. They're telling you their desires, right? It's opening a dialogue. So now instead of you talking at them, it is almost simulating a 2-way conversation. So that's one reason it works. The other reason is the questions I ask on the survey are related to what's being offered in the video. So if you go back to the survey, question number 3 was, what do you want to learn about the most, right? And the choices were list building, conversion, positioning, stealth selling, and how to convert people into high ticket items, right? Well, if you make your video related to the things that they want most from your free training that you're talking about in the survey, then you have basically a setup for the pitch. So here's how it worked. People told me which of those 5 topics they were most interested in, right? Stealth selling, persuasion, etc. In the video, I said, okay, we've had a couple hundred people take the survey. Here are the preliminary results, right? Now this is the setup part. So I now say, now, one of the things that has helped me do that very stuff you just said you wanted to learn how to do is video. And then I went on to sell a product called Video Black Box for $194. So this little process of simply taking people to a survey, right, getting legitimately valuable data from them, and then offering something that is directly related to what they just said they wanted, immediately making that offer, has now made me close to $100,000. I do it every year, always around the fall of every single year. First time I did it, 2011, brought in $40,000. I did it again last year, brought in another $40,000. This year, it's only been going on for 48 hours. As I'm filming this for you, it's already at $10,000 a day in revenue. It's pretty strong. It's pretty hard to beat. So let's talk about mechanically, how do you do it, right? Well, 2 of the 3 years, I've used a service called SurveyMonkey. This year, I tried a different service, mainly because I'm ADD and I wanted to try something new. For all intents and purposes, I would recommend you use SurveyMonkey. Reason why is because it's super cheap and it's point and click easy. They host the survey for you, they capture the data for you, you basically just like type and hit go and it makes stuff. So then all you do is make that survey the thank you page on your opt-in form and set the survey so when they hit submit on the survey, it redirects to your video sales letter. So this process, which is now 100 grand for me personally, $22,000 for the guy that wrote in at 1 o'clock this morning, this process I just walked you through is one part of a 3-part promotional strategy called the Survey Siphon. And I would like to invite you to deploy this one part in your business immediately and see if you can send me an email like the one I got at 1 o'clock this morning. That would be awesome, right? Now, there are 2 other parts to the strategy that I'd like to give you in a promotion called the Survey Siphon. Now, I originally taught Survey Siphon in a $1,000 home study course called Mass Control Promos, which currently is unavailable at any price. And what I'd like to do is give you access to the Survey Siphon, the entire strategy, for just 2 payments of $97. And to make it even more appealing, I'm also going to give you 3 more strategies. The next one I'm going to share with you is a strategy called the newscaster method. It's the damnedest thing you've ever seen. In the newscaster method, I did this little experiment where I went out and I found videos about a certain topic that were not authored by me, meaning I didn't create the videos. They were for public use, they were just out there, right? I put the video on my blog and then I wrote a little blog post under the video with a blurb linking to one of my products. In less than a week, that one post with that video that someone else made generated over $80,000 in sales for me. And in the newscaster method, as part of this bonus that I'd like to give you, I'm going to walk you through how to find videos and what to put underneath these third-party videos that causes your marketplace and your audience to turn the corner and now take interest in your product and what it is that you have for sale. The next thing I want to give you is another strategy called the Capri Island Cash Stacker. I know, I have the craziest names ever. Now this thing is incredible. When I first tested this strategy, it was when I was in the Isle of Capri on my honeymoon with my wife. I set it up before we left to go to Italy, and when I went on the trip, I wisely did not take my laptop with me. So imagine this, I'm on my honeymoon in the Isle of Capri in Italy, and meanwhile at home, behind the scenes, this whole promotion is running, and I'm there going, gosh, I wonder if it's working, right? I had no idea because I know that one of the keys to a successful marriage is thou shalt not take the stupid laptop on your honeymoon, right? So I left it at home. So when we get home, one of the first things I do is I log in to check my stats, just like any internet marketer would, right? The promotion did over $200,000 in sales. So what I want to give you is the architecture of the promotion. I'm going to give you a flow chart to show you how to set it up. And I'm also going to give you a director's cut version of exactly how I ran it in my business. So I'm going to give you the exact emails I use with explanations of why I said the things I said in the email and how you can model my communication strategies. I'm also going to give you director's cut versions of the sales video and the content videos that were given to my list during that promotion so you can model my communication strategies for your own sales videos and your own content videos. The third thing I want to give you, in addition to the Survey Siphon, all 3 phases of it, is a presentation where I walk you through the 9 psychological levers of email marketing. See, when you send emails, there's certain psychology that you've got to use in email conversation and communication that's dramatically different from everything else. It's dramatically different from videos, content videos, sales letters, blog posts. The style of communication in email is a totally different animal from anything else you're going to do. And there are 9 psychological levers that when you deploy them can cause your reader to feel like they know, like, and trust you more, can feel like they have more desire for your products and services, can feel like they need to order from you right now, or basically do whatever it is that you want them to do. So I'm going to walk you through all 9 of those and give you examples of how to deploy them in your business. So to recap, Survey Siphon. What I've just walked you through is phase 1 of it. There are in total 3 phases. The phase 1 that I've walked you through has generated about $30,000 for me, like clockwork, every single year that I've run it. Incidentally, you don't have to just run it once a year. I'm just a little bit lazy. Also, you heard from the guy who wrote me at 1 a.m. this morning that's running $22,000 from just what I've given you for free. Again, results aren't typical. Thousands of people are watching this right now. Most of them will probably do nothing. When you order the complete Survey Siphon package today for 2 payments of $97, you are getting something that was previously included in a $1,000 training. It is not available anywhere for any price at all, except for right here, right now. I'm going to walk you through the other 2 phases of the Survey Siphon, which are the most effective phases, and I'm also going to give you walkthroughs of the newscaster method, which when deployed brought me personally $80,000 in sales by using someone else's video that was freely available online in a simple blog post. I'm also going to be walking you through the Capri Island Cash Stacker method, which brought in $200,000 in change while I was away on my honeymoon in the Isle of Capri with no laptop. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Great honeymoon, great thing to come home to. And finally, I'm also going to be walking you through the 9 email psychological levers that you can use to get more response, more conversions, and build more goodwill through your email marketing. I'm certain you're going to absolutely love all of these trainings. And you know what? On top of all of that, I'd like to do you one better. You know, I'm sure you've probably heard by now my very controversial refund policy. Here it is. It's called Refund First, Ask Questions Never, right? So here's the deal. This is a downloadable product. As soon as you get it, you can have instant access to everything. Go ahead, put it to work for you. See if you like it. Try it out. See if it works. If you don't like it for any reason under the sun or for no reason at all, let me know. I'll give you all of your money back and you can keep it anyway. Now think about this. Who's taking all the risk in this equation, right? It's me. Sure, there's probably some people out there who will rip me off. I could care less. Life has been very, very good to me and I want it to be good to you as well. And when you put these promotions to work in your business, I think you're going to be absolutely thrilled with the results. So we got 2 major things going on right now. Big discount plus irresistible refund policy. Go ahead, get these promotions. Try phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of Survey Siphon immediately. Deploy the newscaster method. If you can find a video, put it on your blog. That's all the technical skills that you need to deploy that. It's just what you say and what video you find, right? Use those 9 email levers in your communications to get more response, more goodwill, ultimately make more sales. Deploy the Capri Island Cash Stacker. Hey, maybe even deploy it while you go to the Isle of Capri. It's a beautiful place all times of year. Bottom line is, this is a fantastic offer. You're really, really going to benefit from this training. The cost is negligible and all the risk is on my shoulders. So I hope you enjoyed this case study. At the very least, please just do phase 1. See what happens, right? It has really, really been working well. I'd love to hear your success story with it. So if you deploy it, please let me know. You can find me on Facebook, email me, however you choose. I'd love to hear about your success with this. And thanks for watching this case study, and I look forward to seeing you on the live training. Okay, till then, I'll be in touch. Thanks.